So thinking about this from a financial planning perspective and a financial advisor's perspective, how do you see the link between developing listening skills and financial planners sort of having those deeper conversations with their clients, listening for longer, and ultimately in client outcomes, which is what we're all most interested in, I guess?
Yeah. So I truly think that if you have better listening skills as a financial planner, you then develop deeper trust with the client, and you actually find out what is truly important to that person sitting in front of you, rather than just surface level objectives. You really find out what they value most, and what is really driving them, and that rapport building, I suppose, that trust really deepens. And then that means then that you're not just going through a tick box exercise and just going through the motions. You are actually drilling down, finding out what the objectives are, and coming to the solution that is more appropriate for them. And then if you're doing that, then you got to be fundamentally meeting the consumer duty objective of meeting the cross-cutting ball, which is meeting the client's objectives. And when I first saw this, a consumer duty, meeting the client's objectives, you think, well, of course you do. That's already in COBS. Why are they worried about this? But I think that they are looking for us to be more deeper. This is more than I want to invest for 5+ years and get growth. This is actually, what is it that we're investing for? So I think and of course, once you get the objectives right, then everything really flows from that. That's from outset, and I think then that should make life easier. But what that does mean, of course, for the financial planners, is that you then have to set aside the time for you to have that meaningful conversation. And that means you've got to manage client expectations. And if the client's saying, I've only got an hour, and you're expecting to do a whole fact finding objectives and all the rest of it, then you need to take a step back and take control and say, well, an hour's not going to be enough to do the whole exercise. Is imagine your expectation and the client's expectations. But if you just slow the process down, I think ultimately the file will look better. There'll be better outcome for the client, and rather than just being a bit of a sausage chat factory, solution and churning stuff out as well. I also think that once you've got that trust with the client, you should feel more confident to then challenge the client when appropriate. So, we financial planners are not order takers, and the FCA are very clear on that. You have a duty to give them the most suitable recommendation to meet their needs and their objectives. And sometimes that means telling the client something that they're not going to like. Or the amount of times I've seen things like expenditure, for example, and I've seen it's £200 on food spent for a family of 4. I don't know about you, but my bill for 2 is more than £200 a month. So I don't know what they're feeding their children, beans on toast or something like that. But that's where the advisor should be actually saying, I appreciate it. Just have the confidence to ask and challenge the question and just get the client thinking. You don't have to be confrontational about it, but if you've got that relationship, then it's easier to have that conversation.